Hello, everyone. I'd like to take a moment to talk about my favorite Torah personality, and that's Yaakov Avinu. In this week's Torah portion, Parashat Vayishlach, we see him returning home after an absence of, according to our sages, 34 years. Yes, I know. If you do the math that from the numbers that's given in the passage, we come up with 20 years. But actually, our sages tell us that from the time he left Beersheba till the time he arrived in Padan Aram, there was 14 years. So 14 plus 20, that's 34 years. Anyways, he knew that he was facing some tough issues. The same situation that had driven him away, he was coming back to face that situation, and that was his brother Esav. So it was a very terrifying thing, because he didn't just have himself to consider. He had his wives and his children, and so he began to come up with a strategy to protect his family by dividing them up into groups. The Leah and her children, the handmaidens and their children were first, then Leah and her children. And then the Torah mentions something that's very interesting. And it's instead of mentioning that Rachel and Yosef came in the rear, it says Yosef and Rachel, which meant that either we were seeing a demonstration of Yaakov's love for his wife Rachel, which seemed to surpass even that of his children, the love for his children. Or it could be that Yosef was being the little man. He would have been perhaps about 6 years old at that time. And here's this little man standing in front to defend his mother from the big bad wolf who was Esav. He came up with this strategy. Yaakov came up with this strategy to protect his family, and he went ahead to meet Esav. But before that happened, he had an encounter with a malach, where our sages tell us that was a malach Esav, that's Esav's angel, and they had a wrestling that lasted all night. So I posted the song called I won't let go. I can't let go. I can't let go. To just kind of to represent that struggle that he went through. And that's a struggle. We go through our own struggles, so in our own encounters, when we have to face ourselves and we have to face the people that we have wronged, and we call out to God, and we do everything that we can to try to make it right. And that's what Yaakov was doing at this time, and when he came under attack from this divine being, which he didn't know was a divine being at first, Anyways, they went through that. He met with Esav, and God turned it around. God turned Esav's heart, So I want to mention about the character, a little bit more about the character of who Yaakov was. We see him running away. We see the Torah saying that he was a mild-mannered man that dwelled in the tents and so on. Whatever those things may mean and what they may represent, different people will have different opinions and thoughts on the matter. Me, I see him as, a very strong person. He didn't run away because he was weak or he was a mama's boy, right? And spineless. He ran away in order to be sure that he did not spill innocent blood. Well, not innocent blood. His brother wasn't innocent. We didn't spill his brother's blood, so to speak. And, we in Parshat Toldot and Parshat Vayetze, we learn about the struggle and the sibling rivalry and the favoritism that his parents, demonstrated But, you know, if we look below the Peshat, if we look deeper, we can begin to understand more. And that's why I wrote the song, My Brother's Keeper, to represent that struggle and how Yaakov was. And I want to say something that I found it. Everybody knew that that Esav was a Rasha. He was wicked, right? He was wicked. That's it. He did things underhanded. He was really the sly one. He was the one that, but not very smart. He was the one that did things, wanted things the quick way, the easy way, and he was the one that would set a trap and lie in wait to ambush. He was in the westerns, they call him, he was a bushwhacker. That's what Esav was. That's what he represented. But when it came to character, when it came to physical strength and spiritual strength, Yaakov surpassed him completely. He surpassed him. The Torah does not give us any indication or idea of the strength of Esav, but it does for Yaakov. We see Yaakov being able to lift up a stone from the well that took several men to do. So that tells us about his physical prowess. And we see him wrestling with a divine being. That's both physical and spiritual prowess that we see in action here. So Yaakov, intellectually, physically, spiritually, you know, it was way above Esav. Way above Esav. So that is the character of the man. But one thing that we will see, we will not see, is we will never see Yaakov saying a bad word, not a single bad word about his brother. Not a single bad word about his brother. And so for those, this is how we can actually bring the Torah into our contemporary life, you know, to be able to solve our problems with the wisdom that we learn from the Torah. And many people have issues in their families, their sibling rivalries all the time. How do you handle that? And that's what Yaakov taught us, how to handle sibling rivalry by, number one, not speaking badly. Not speaking badly about his brother, who was, everybody knew his brother was wicked, but he never said a bad word about him. He really was his brother's keeper. And I found something really interesting when Yaakov went to his father and pretending to be Esav. The only thing that he did was he covered his arm so his father can touch it. But what did his father say? His father says the arm, the hand is the hand of Esav, but the voice is the voice of Yaakov. Now, my question is, why did not Yaakov disguise his voice? Why didn't he disguise his voice? Why did he say in his own voice, you know, I'm your son Esav? And my thing, what I believe from that is, what I take from that is that was also another way of him protecting his brother, you know, him covering for his brother. And it may seem far-fetched, it may seem, but there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on there than we see on the surface. So I also released a third song. I posted a third song. That song is called Nothing to Fear. And this was, you know, represented Yaakov's time when he was praying and he was doing everything he can to try to turn Esau's wrath, to turn his wrath and play on his compassion, if there was any, if he had any. So please give a listen. And if this video happened to come across your feed, please do subscribe to my channel, share the video, like the video, and let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I hope you have a wonderful Shabbat. It's almost Shabbat here for me. And I look forward to putting more songs out that have some connection to the parasha. Shabbat Shalom.